Hey, what's up everyone? My name is Kay, and today we'll be looking at the Band Presto S.C.M.EX or S.C.M.EX, otherwise known as also whatchamacallit, Special Creative Model Black TriStar's Zaku 2. So this is an awesome figure, and again, this is a commission project that I recently completed. So I made some color changes, so right now it actually looks better than before. So, out of the box, this thing is it really looks boring. So I went ahead and changed and corrected the colors to, how it's supposed to be, and it's looking way better. So, and I also wanted to add, this is one of those figures that you can't just buy one, since it comes with, the unit came from a team of 3. Then it's best to get 3 to make them look cooler. So yeah, so we have 3 here. You can't just get one. You have to get 3. If you're getting the black TriStars, you can't just get one. Get 3, and that is it. So this is the figure. So again, it's been panel lined, decaled, and panel lined, decaled, and I did some color corrections, and I'm gonna show you the changes in the colors in a bit. So let's start off with the figure, and we're gonna go ahead and start with the accessories.
Alright, so for accessories, you don't get much. It comes with the basic black TriStar weaponry, minus the huge axe, because since this is this is actually an old figure, and the axe that we recently saw from the axe that we recently saw from the Origins special is including, or they introduced the big axe, and that's something that this figure doesn't have. So it comes with a Zaku rifle, which I already corrected the colors. It was painted in gunmetal colors out of the box, and I went ahead and changed that, and I added red paint app on the scope. And then you have the Zaku bazooka, and also painted in German gray. There you go. No articulation. It's just one big chunk of plastic, and you have a spare head if you want them to have the the commander fin, and then you have a right trigger finger hand for the Zaku, or for the rifle or the bazooka. You have a pair of you have a pair of fists, and then just one hand for the trigger hands, and then you get one right open palm hand. So that is it for the accessories. They do not have the heat hawk, unfortunately. I don't know why. It doesn't bother me that much because I prefer the projectile weapons. So that is for the accessories. So let's go ahead and proceed with the figure's articulation.
Alright, so we're gonna start off with the articulation. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove these 2 guys here. So we're gonna start with the figure. Now keep in mind, unlike the S.C.M.EX or S.C.M.EX Black TriStar DOMs, which they were individually different from each other. Like, say, Gaia's DOM had the DOM rifle with the bayonet, and then Ortega's DOM got the axe, and then Mash's has the spiked shield. The Black TriStar Zakus were not, they're not individually different from each other, so they all get the same shit. So you don't have to worry about getting, you don't have to worry about if you got Ortega, or if you got Mash, or if you got Gaia, because they're all the same unlike the DOMs. So anyway, so we're gonna start off the articulation. So the head is on I don't know, it can do the chicken, see that? It can look up that far, it can look down that far, it can look left, it can look right. So very good head articulation in my opinion. I just like how he can look up a little bit high. So for flight poses, he looks really good. So the backpack is stationary, so there's no movement there. So the shield, it's on a ball joint, so it can go up and down so it can wiggle around. The arm is also on a ball joint, and it can go up that far because it can go higher, but the shield is blocking it. And then it has a bicep swivel here, which is really cool. You gotta love bicep swivels. It has a double jointed elbow. The hand is on a ball joint, so it can wiggle around and it can, rotate. If I can, move it closer, it can wiggle around and rotate. The spikes here, the shoulder spikes, it's also on a ball joint. So if you remove this, you can see there's a ball joint there. There's the socket there. So just place it back here. Now for the torso here, or for the ab crunch, he has a little bit of ab crunch there. Really good actually for a Zaku. So yep. And S.C.M.EX figures, or S.C.M.EX figures, are really well known for their really crazy ab articulation. So that's something you can expect from S.C.M.EX figures. Now the way he can do a body copter, because he's on a ball joint torso here. You can see that socket. And then the skirts are interesting because with all the Zaku figures from this toy line, the skirts are not hard plastic. It's actually rubber. So it's interesting in a way because it will not hinder things. So some will find this a really bad approach on figures. I think it's unique. I don't personally like this rubber plastic, but I just think it's unique. It sets it apart from like other kits or figures because it's just rubber, so it doesn't hinder things. So you also don't have to worry about part of the skirt falling off because again it's rubber. So I think that's a unique approach. So I was doing high kicks earlier, so you can see, holy shit, that looks really nice, right? So he can do a high kick really far, go back that far. For splits, he can actually do a split, and then bicep swivel. Sorry, not bicep swivel, holy shit. He has a thigh swivel here. Now the Zakus normally are double jointed, but since he has that new leg armor on, it's gonna hinder things. So yeah, so he can only do about a 90-degree bend. But if you look at the Zaku 2, like this is a standard Zaku 2, which I have here, they're pretty much the same mold minus the obvious parts. But you can see here, since there's nothing hindering it, he can do a double jointed bend. See, and you can see the mechanism here starting to work like crazy. I love it. But you can't really see that. You can't really see that much on the high mobility because of the extra leg armor here. But that's fine because he's pretty much gonna he's a space type, so pretty much he's gonna be flying around, so you don't need that dynamic pose or whatnot. But yeah, so what else? So we covered the knees. The feet is interesting. So it has an ankle rocker here because it's just in a ball joint. You can see there's the ball joint right there, but it's kind of placed differently, so it's pretty unique. It's a pretty unique connection. So it can you can rock it, and then it can go down that far, and then you can pull it up that far, so which is really cool. And that is pretty much it. So the backpack is also something I worked on. You can also see that I added his name here, Gaia, on the butt. So this piece right here is all in one shade of plastic. It was horrible, so I didn't like that, so I added color separation on it, so it looks way better. If anything, I kind of wish I painted the tubes on the face and on the torso here and on the legs, but I really can't because it's molded in this really rubbery plastic. I tried painting it, but it got really sticky, so it had like this weird chemical reaction where it became tacky. So I stripped the paint off and just kept it the way, kept it as it is. So I'm still trying to figure out how I can repaint it, because it's not reacting well with lacquer paints. So and I've tried enamel paints too, and it's doing the same thing. So maybe I'll try acrylic next time, but I'm not really liking acrylic paints. But they said it's the best, so I don't know. So what else did I do here? So aside from the backpack, the thighs, the piece here, well, you know what? I'm gonna put this here. I'm gonna do this, right? And then you will see, and then I'll put a picture of how it looks like here, and you can see, you know, what changes I did. And then I'll switch it on the back, and then you're gonna see how it looks like, you know, out of the box. So it's really different. So I added decals here and there, things like that. So going back, so I'm gonna snap off some of his accessories, and I'll do the verdict on this one. Oh yeah, and I forgot. So this piece right here, this opens up. This is for you to plug in his bazooka. There you go. There you go. I don't know. I'm not sure why it's not like fitting in properly. I mean, that's normally how you do it, but it's not a tight fit for some reason. But yeah, that's how you do it. Because with the Zakus, it's actually snug, pretty cool, pretty tight. See? No problems. But I just noticed that now. I don't know why it's doing that. See? It's not snug, which is weird. All right, but anyway, let's go ahead and plug in his bazooka, and we'll go from there. All right. All right. So there it is. So yeah, I forgot to mention, I don't know if I mentioned it already, but yeah, this backpack right here, there's no articulation on it, so this thruster can't move, but this thing here is on a rubber plastic. But that's about it. There's no articulation in the backpack. All right, so with my verdict, guys, I think, you know, the Black TriStar Zaku's is a really awesome figure. In my opinion, though, since it's from the Special Creative model line, you already know that these things are hard to find. But in my opinion, these figures are one of the easiest figures to find compared to, you know, say finding the RX-782 or the RX-781, the Gems, or the Goof. Those are harder to find. These, along with the Johnny Ridden Zaku, or the Johnny Raiden Zaku right here, which I'm not yet done detailing. These four high mobility Zaku figures from the S.C.M.EX line, they are actually easy to find, like very easy to find. You can find them in most online sites or on most shops online. So it's really up to you if you wanna get them now since they're the easiest to find, or just get them later since, you know, you can find them anywhere. So it's really up to you. In my case, I hunted the harder to find ones, and then I'm getting these for last. Unfortunately, though, these figures are not mine. I don't have any of these yet, but I'm just really happy I get to work on one and I get to review one for you guys, even though I still don't have one, because I used to have the Johnny Ridden Zaku before and I sold it. So I'm just happy that I'm reviewing them, or I'm reviewing them all over again, but this time I know how to detail figures, so that's kind of cool in my opinion. But yeah, so going back, price point, they are about 40 to 50 bucks each, so they're not expensive. They're a little bit hard to find compared to, you know, recent shit that we get, like say compared to Robot Damacy figures. These guys are like a little bit harder to find than Robot Damacy figures since they are already discontinued. But as a figure, I think they are great. Articulation is pretty good for a Zaku, so I'm gonna give this just maybe I'll give it a 5. This is mainly because, yeah, it's a 5. I can't explain it. I like it. The flaws of these Zaku figures, like the standard ones, they already improved it on the Zaku high mobility types. So by that I mean, like, say for the hands, the Zaku 2 or the standard Zaku 2 figures, they actually have a rubbery manipulator, so it's really squishy, and they fixed that with the high mobility types. Also, the whatchamacallit, the shoulders were a little bit harder, but I think the Zaku Ridden, or sorry, the Johnny Raiden Zaku 2 is the best one out of, the Zaku figures, and I'm gonna mention that when I review this thing right here. But for this figures alone, I think it's a 5. If anything, I think the only thing that's missing is the big axe for Ortega's Zaku, but it's a minor thing that you can do on your own. You can buy either the new Origin Zaku 2 high mobility type kit and get the axe, or just get the Kotobukiya Unite sword, and just like what I did, just do the axe form of that kit, and then you can give him the axe. So that's also another easy fix that you can do. But yeah, this is a 5. I think it's a great figure. Minor complaints is the axe, and I kind of wish that they have a more expressive open palm hand, because their open palm hand is something I don't really like, because it looks boring. There's not much expression on these hands compared to what the Zaku 2 hands has, and I'm gonna show you guys what I mean by that. Alright, so you can see the difference. Like, this hand is much more expressive, like it's much more it makes much more sense if you're doing action poses compared to this. This is more of a relaxed hand to me. It's not an action pose hand compared to this. So yeah, that's my only gripe. It's nothing major, but yeah, so that's the review for my for the S.C.M.EX Black TriStar figures, and I'm gonna do a couple more reviews soon, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let's see, if you have questions or concerns, or just basically any questions regarding my channel, feel free to comment on the comment section below, and I'll be more than happy to answer them. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys on my next video.